We got another one.
Wow. Wow. That episode was crazy. Listen, I'm not gonna waste too much of y'all time. I'm gonna get into episode 5 of X-Men 97. Remember it. Yo, this one is crazy, bro. Like, forget cameos. There's mad cameos in this. That's so many that I'm gonna have to like go through a Rolodex of like how many people were in here. From my jump, I saw Glob, I saw Pixie, I saw Marrow, I saw Banshee, saw Exodus, saw Dazzler. I think I saw M, but I'm not sure if that was M. I saw a bunch of dudes from like the newer runs of X-Men that I do not remember their names of, but I've seen them. You know what I mean? There was a lot because they're on the Mutant Island of Genosha in this episode. Uh, while Gambit, Rogue, and Magneto are visiting Genosha as Genosha is being inducted into the UN, the United Nations, the rest of the X-Men, that being Morph, Wolverine, Beast, Cyclops, Jean, Jubilee, and Sunspot, I guess, are back at home getting interviewed for this reality show slash news show, kind of like Dateline. And they're getting interviewed to kind of, build up a rapport with the people and show people what's good with the X-Men and how their history and who discovered them and all sorts of that fun stuff. But this episode starts off with like, wow, like I'm not gonna give a full recap because you guys really see it, but it's just like the X-Men, Rogue, Gambit, Magneto land in Genosha. They're greeted by Madeline Pryor and Val Cooper. You're wondering, like, okay, how'd she get there already, Madeline? But hey, she's there, Madeline Pryor, Val Cooper. They're like, yeah, this is a great part of mutant history. So Magneto, we'd like to speak to you in private real quick. And then Rogue and Gambit's like, what are we gonna do? It pops in Nightcrawler, who Nightcrawler now is Kurt Wagner. He met the mutants back in like season three's season premiere, and it was great. And then they showed him later on, when it was revealed that Magneto's his mom. I mean, sorry, that Mystique's his mom and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, Kurt Wagner pops up. He's happy to see them. I love this depiction of Kurt. I love how he was very like energetic and like swashbuckly. The whole some part. There was one part where he popped from one side of Madeline to the other side to shake Magneto's head. I don't think that would have gone down like that. You have to understand that when he teleports, that's just stuff smells like brimstone and like just not a good smell. So like I don't think if you're considerate of people, or at least you know how your powers are, you're not gonna just be bamfing next to people just like that. In battles, sure, if you really need to, sure, but you're not gonna just be like, boof, okay, stay, inhale that, and then boof, do it again twice in a row. So he goes that he does that. He greets himself to Magneto. He goes and shows Rogan Gambit what's good at Genosha, shows them around. You see all the kids playing, kids that I mentioned before. So this is Leech and Pixie and all the other like New Mutants kind of kids playing around in the fountain and such. There's some fountain mutant pops up. Don't remember his name. We're gonna get a picture of him up. And Gambit's like, all right, well, I got some questions, like, what's good with this $10 apple here? They're like, economy, a good economy doesn't start overnight, so some things got to be a little rough. He's like, all right, cool. So then why is Magneto like plastered all over the place, like to be like the Godchild? At which point it cuts to, I believe at this point, the X matching where Beast is being interviewed by this news lady, and she's talking about different things about mutants and going on history, and she's like, "Oh, well, I just like to be around such a renowned reporter as yourself," and then she hits him back with the same kind of compliment. He's like, "All right, yo, I blue blush too, girl. Like, if you want this number, you can get it." It then cuts back to Gene, uh new regular real Gene, and I guess in a pool somewhere, trying to just be as secluded. He's taken away from interviews. Same thing with Wolverine. Wolverine pulls up on her. So they start talking. She's like, I'm trying to figure out where I remember stuff. He's like, yo, don't remember. There's only one random bite. Like, basically, they just have like a heart to heart. She ends up kissing Wolverine, and then he's like, yo, dude, like, check yourself. You're a Gene. He's Cyclops. You're supposed to be with him. Don't be doing that to me right now because I will pounce if I need to, girl, and you will get this business. So chill out. I'm going to give you this one warning. Other than that, it could go down. And that's what happened. Like, it was weird, but I didn't like that. I don't like that they threw that in, but whatever. Cool. They cuts back to this like council, which they gave me a big Council Krakoa vibes, this, because you had Sebastian Shaw, the Black King. You had Emma Frost there. You had Madeline Pryor, who's there. Banshee was there. Moira McTaggart was there. Nightcrawler's there. Like it's a heavy bunch of folks that's just hanging out. They they bring him to at one point. They're like, listen, we're trying to get Magneto in to be like our king, like our leader. And he's like, why are you trying to get me to lead this place? And they're like, listen, we don't want it really like that, but like Charles would have wanted that. So like, you're the guy after your stunt and what you pulled. You know what I mean? Like you're the only one that could have really done this for us. So we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. It kind of seems right for you to lead the island of Genosha. While they're doing that, you see people in the Times Square, and then Nightcrawler is out in the time showing people in the town how they're having fun. You see that's when they pull up like throwing multiple man who's there for some reason, just fully in his get up. What's up with everybody in the show that's supposed to have a brown trench coat other than Gambit not getting their brown trench coat? If you notice that anyone that's supposed to have a brown jacket in this show, it's been switched to green, except for Gambit who gets his brown. So like multiple man who had a brown jacket and always had a brown jacket now has a green jacket because reasons. Anyways, so you see Jamie Madrox, you then see cut to Exodus. They showed Exodus, which is like super nuts that they showed Exodus, but they showed Exodus, and I was like, all right, that's dope. Showed Exodus, and then it pops in a female that looked like it was M. I'm not sure. Dazzler's, of course, is there doing Dazzler, no speaking role, but I'm down with it. Dazzler showing Dazzler right after Long Shot. Hey, let's go. You didn't show Long Shot, but you went into Mojoverse, so I'm down. I see what y'all are doing. But yeah, basically, right, Magneto says, okay, listen, like, you want me to be your leader? I'll be your leader under one condition. Then he goes to Rogue. He's like, listen, this is what we need, blah, 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 blah. And Rogue's like, Doc, you crazy? Like, I'm not going to be your girl in front of all these people just to, like, show face and whatever. Plus, what about Gambit? He's like, listen, I'm not lying. I'm not saying that I don't have feelings for you. It's just that, like, dude, we need to do this for the greater good. It'll look good, and it'll be great for us, great PR, all kinds of things. So let's do it. Rogue really gets greater judgment, goes and tells you Gambit Magneto's plan. Gambit's like, okay. She explains to him how they used to be together for like a brief stint, which is no man really wants to hear that, but Gambit's like, all right, fine. Like, I've been playing this role, you've been playing your role. She's like, yeah, but like, we can't really be together. I can't touch you, can't do nothing. So like, what the hell? You're like, all right. Then till this dude's gonna mess your heart up and break your heart. Like, if you're gonna do this, go ahead and do it. But like, he's gonna break your heart. So go ahead. And she's like, all right. He's like, till then we're friends. They cut to this gala, which is very much like Hellfire Gala vibes too. Everybody's dressed up, wearing like costume versions of their outfit, but or whatever. Oh, dope. They showed a scene which I didn't know. I didn't see this at all, but my boy, shouts to my boy, Troy Collects Toys. He sent me this earlier this morning. He's like, yo, did you see the Watcher? I'm like, what do you mean the Watcher was there? But right before it does fireworks over Genosha, before it pans down to the gala setting, you see the Watcher Watu in a corner. It might have been a Watu, could not have been a Watu. I don't know, but it probably is a Watu. Top left hand corner. My man's there, hanging out, watching down people. And then it's like, okay, gala goes down. Rogue makes her brand entrance. Buff can start dancing. Everybody thinks it's great. They're like, oh wow, they're dancing. It looks great. Wow, 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 wow. It's great. It's beautiful. Rogue kisses Magneto. They start doing this Ace of Base ass type song comes on. It starts like Ace of Basing. It sounds like all that she wants and like a different kind of many mixtures of Ace of Base songs mixed together. That's what that song sounded like. But then you have this kind of like dance between Magneto and Rogue. They're doing this like not tribal but kind of tribal thing, and I mean, it kind of gave me Matrix Reloaded vibes. Or yeah, Reloaded, not Revolution, Reloaded vibes. The whole scene, and yeah, it wasn't down. It was weird. Then they kiss, and then she basically does all that to tell him, you know what, this ain't it. I'm not really feeling this. Cut to Madeline Pryor, who's just like watching all this, and then oh yeah. So while point during the show, Scott is shown upstairs. He's having his interview, and he fully snaps on the girl, like snaps. He brings up his kid. He's like, I don't have no kid with Jean. And she's like, yeah, did I see records of a baby and all kinds of things? And boy, like kind of snaps on her and like basically says like a big speech of basically how like I had to lie and I'm lying about this kid because you guys are normal. I'm not. I gotta put on this whole face just to show you that I'm a decent human being, that you cannot fear us. I know how he feels too. And then he's like goes upstairs and he's just like bun this and he goes away. So then later on it comes back to him after Rogue has a speech with Gambit. It cuts back to Cyclops in a room with what appears to be Jean talking about their kid, and he's like, I know I can't see color, but up here I can. She's like, tell me about your kid, and then you kind of realize, oh no, that might not be Jean, and then it comes Jean like, yo, tell me more, bro. Tell me how you're gonna explain this one. Jean is basically catching Cyclops having a psychic date slash link slash conversation with Madeline Pryor while she's all the way in Genosha. That's distance, long distance. And Jean is not happy. She's like, this is the way we used to communicate. And out here, I see you kissing this bitch in front of me in this psychic world. Brother, are you crazy? You crazy, dog. You crazy, crazy. So yeah, that's how that went down. Wasn't appreciated by Jean. Jean was like, nah, I'm not feeling that at all. And yeah, as she's arguing with Scott, and he's like, "Lo, like, do you love me, or you just like the feeling or memory of me?" She's like, "What are you talking about? If I love you, bro, I could have been the Phoenix. I could have been like a whole entity out here, like just not even worrying about food, and just being powerful." And I came back for a year, anyways. So she has like a like they do in animation, and then basically that gets coincided with in Genosha, where Madeline Pryor had the same where basically it's like a premonition of something really bad happening. Her nose starts bleeding, all six. Next thing you know, Cable shows up and he's like, cut the music. This needs to stop. Cut this all out. Cut it out. This needs to stop. They're coming. It's coming. Like, chill. Y'all need to be ready. And she's like, what? And then he starts body sliding. The computer automatically starts body sliding. He's like, nah, not again. And he slides, and he ends up sliding to the point, and then he's out of here. He's like, yo, sorry, mom. At that point, some big ass blast goes off, and it's like, boom, like the type of wipeout, like wipe out. Mutants were there a second and gone a second. Like, I hope Archangel got out of there, because I saw a few mutants that were just like boom, gone. Like, it was gone. Craziest thing I've seen in an X-Men show in like in my history of loving X-Men. This is the craziest thing. Like, if you guys are gonna do movies and you're setting precedents kind of with the cartoon, now you guys better keep that energy, because this was crazy. This lasts like 10 minutes. Woo! Essentially, a gigantic Sentinel slash Sentinel Gorgira kaiju attacks Genosha, wiping out mad people. Like, numbers are like thousands, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands, but thousands for sure. And then, like, what this alludes to is very much like how Mutant Massacre in the Morlocks, they said like thousands of Morlocks got killed. But you're thinking, how many Morlocks were literally living in a sewer? Like, so they couldn't really kind of portray that on the TV, even though it happened in the comics. I know they couldn't really portray that, so I get it. So they moved. I guess they moved that to Genosha, where they had this kaiju ass thing, like attacking everything, and just obliterating stuff. At one point, she's trying to warn Magneto or Val Cooper or people like, "Yo, get to the garden! Everybody's at the garden! Get to the people to the garden!" And he gets wiped out with Barrow, just boom, gone. You don't know if he's dead, and you're like, "Oh wow, okay, there goes Banshee." So bad people start getting whipped. Like, this looked like the Hellfire Gala, like when people came down on the mutants like recently. I think they kind of took an ode from that. They're like, let's take some of that and put it here, and that they did, because that shit is crazy. Like, wow, oh my goodness. At that point, Nightcrawler, my man, comes through. Nightcrawler comes through, grabs, I believe. Yeah, he comes through. He grabs Magneto Rogue, does a spin flip just as he's about to get like wiped, teleports to the garden, but gets hit still. And like, not terrible, but like, yo, oh my gosh, it was sick. It was just really cool how they did that. Magneto puts up a big fight. They get down to the Morlocks. Magneto puts up a big enough fight to take this thing down, but then it starts putting its entire focus on Magneto. So finally, it looks as if Magneto falls with the Morlocks under his care. Rogue freaks out, goes super excited on the thing. She's like, he came out. Like, great, goes off, starts charging after it. Gambit's like, you're stupid. Takes a bike, chucks it at her so that she gets moved out of the way. Then Gambit sees a thing moving towards his fellow, like, mutants, and he's like, this is gonna wipe out Nightcrawler, Dazzler, and a bunch of them at the garden. I need to stop this. So Gambit, being Gambit, does his thing. Think he's the bad man. He's like, all right, I'm gonna come up on you. Like, straight out of anime. They just got him, and he's like, oh, he's like, all right. And then the thing pulls him forward. It's at his side. He's bleeding. Pulls him forward. This big sentinel pulls him forward. He's like, mutant, identified or nullified, whatever. He's like, then you hear Gambit. Now, the name of the episode is called Remember It, and this is where I didn't think they were going to play it off, but they played it off nicely. So, but Gambit goes and tells us the name's Gambit while you see him charging up the tube that's stuck in his side, and it's going all throughout the big kaiju sentinel. He's charging it. He's like, the name's Gambit. You're like, all right, cool. And he's like, remember it. From which he does like a whew, like big damn explosion. Just blah. And oh my gosh. Wow. Like look, that was that's sacrifice. If you're going to sacrifice, that's sacrifice. Like, wow. I mean, I understand the pain he was going through, so you probably need to let some go, but man, if this is the 5th episode, what are you guys going to do for the 10th episode? That's like the season finale. Like, this is how hard you guys are coming out. Episode 5. Like, what are you doing? Like, craziness. Craziness that I'm seeing here. Huh? You know what I mean? That's what I'm witnessing. Just bare craziness. So, yeah. This episode, that kind of ends like that. It ends with Rogue holding Gambit's somewhat not dead body because he's like busted up. So he's busted up, like not dead, not charred. So he's alive. But she's like, "Yo, I can't feel." This is heart wrenching, very heart wrenching. Messed up. I love this episode. Very, very dope episode. Very dope episode. This is very much probably one of the best episodes of X-Men I've ever seen. And I like their take on this. If this is what they're doing for Mutant Massacre instead of Mutant Massacre, you're super down. Like I'm super down with this. Yeah, man. But that's my recap of what happened to the episode. I'm going to be talking more about what I feel, what went down in the episode tonight on Geektastic Cypher. That's on FXA Media. Geektastic Cypher at 7 p.m. I'm probably putting this up at 6 p.m. or before. So, yeah. If you like this video, you like my recap, you like all the pictures I'm going to throw in, go ahead and give the video a like. Throw up a comment, subscribe to my channel, and then go ahead and check out Geektastic Cypher tonight at 7 or later if you catch it later, and check out my real full-out reaction predictions and all that stuff about the episode. Thank y'all for watching. It's your boy, ActionFiggySkinny. Peace.